Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Something Snazzy, this is Isochron Hawker. The core idea here is the card Isochron Scepter, a fan favorite ever since it was printed. 2-mana artifact. When it enters, you can exile an instant that costs 2 or less from your hand, and for 2, you can tap it to copy the exiled instant. This card famously pairs with Orum's Chant, so your opponent can't cast spells on their turn for the rest of the game. If you have a white mana, they also can't attack. It can just be some card advantage with a Brainstorm. It can be a counterspell. Not quite as good as Orum's Chant, but you get to hold it up and counter the first spell they play every turn. Stifle. There are matchups where this could be good. Just hit every fetch land they play and also enable your Dreadnought. And the fun thing we're doing is the card Omen Hawker. 1 mana, 1/1 Octopus Advisor. Tap, add a colorless and a blue. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. The dream here is turn 1 Hawker, turn 2 Isochron Scepter with the ability to activate it immediately. Omen Hawker also activates other abilities. Can help you channel an Otawara. Can activate Mycosynth Gardens. And with Mycosynth Gardens in particular, Omen Hawker can use this mana to activate Mycosynth Gardens' ability, which is pay a colorless, tap, add a mana of any color, and then that mana can be used for anything. So there's a little buyout here on Omen Hawker turning into actual mana if we want it to do that. Urza Saga can be activated with Omen Hawker. Tamiyo's Clues can be cracked. Fury's activated ability that exiles Dreadnought and turns it into a Dreadnought. And I added Lockmare. It's a little spicy one of in here. It's a great mana sink for Hawkers. And inside of that, we're in an almost mono blue tempo kind of shell. Tempo Dreadnought. There's white for Swords of Plowshares, Orum's Chant, and a couple sideboard cards. We're pretty close to mono blue here. I expect this deck will play like most tempo decks or like most Isochron Scepter decks. When I'm ahead and doing my thing, we're going to have a lot of fun, and when we're behind, we're going to struggle. With that in mind, I'll try not to fall behind. Let's do it. This is Isochron Hawker. I'm excited to be a special guest for the Excalibur Events Niagara Falls weekend, September 25th through 27th, 2026. This event features the pre-modern scaling 25K with $10,000 guaranteed and $5,000 added to the prize pool at 275, 350, and 450 players for a total of $25,000. Gold Border and Collector's Edition cards are legal in this tournament, and you can use up to 10 playtest cards to fill out your deck. Be sure to check the FAQ on the Excalibur website to follow their playtest card policy. This has a chance of being the biggest pre-modern event ever. Sign up now and use code BOSH for $5 off entry. I hope I'll see you there. I am on the play in round 1. Look at this Lockmare Dream Hand. Let's go. Opponent says hello, YouTube. Everyone say hi to Lodope. Lodope? Lodope. Maybe it's Italian. Whoever you are, hello. Okay, so like, obviously, the correct legacy play here is to play Tamiyo, protected with Force of Will, and try to get something going. I'm going to do the other thing. I'm going to play Omen Hawker, and I'm going to use it to power out a quick Lockmare. And if I need to use Force of Will, I can pitch this superfluous Tamiyo. Who needs that shit? Never even heard of it. A Bloodstained Mire. Are we a combo deck, or just Dimir Tempo? Nethergoyf. Oh my god. Well, I don't have an instant yet, but we're so close to the dream here. I do have a secondary option here of not shoving Lockmare into Daze. I could Wasteland my opponent and then develop Tamiyo. Yeah, it's actually close. I mean, obviously I want to do the thing we came here to do, but also I want to play Magic correctly. All right, I'm going to go for Tamiyo. If I Wasteland first, they can't Daze me, which is actually better than using Wasteland to pay for Daze. Okay. Chillin'. Bloodstained Mire. Another one. Snuff out. That's fine. I still have Lockmare. Opponent gets to attack. Your own Tamiyo. Okay, I tried to play around Daze. Oh my god. I'm going for Lockmare. I think this is more important than Counterspell under Isochron Scepter right now. A Force of Will. I'll fight over this one. Let's go. Okay, I could draw a card now to play around Bowmaster, or I could hold this to play around Thoughtseize. I'm just going to draw a card. Swords to Plowshares. Also a nice one to be under Isochron Scepter. Maybe even better than Counterspell. Opponent's got a third land. Genuinely devastating. What do you mean building my deck around a 1/1? Intimir Tempo's Legacy is a bad idea. This is bullshit. Why isn't this a 0/2? The card would be so much better in that world. All right, I can block here. All right, time to begin the slow grind home. I'm going to play Otawara, and I'm going to play Isochron Scepter. Imprint that Swords to Plowshares that I can't use right away because my Omen Hawker died. Fatal Push. My horse! Wasteland. Okay, I know exactly what I have to do here. Okay, they went for the draw card. Probably the right thing to do. I'm taking 4. I think Tameo is actually the card I have to plow. Hey, not anymore. Okay, Caracas. Get Tameo out of here. Oh, I probably should have plowed first. Now they could Force of Will, but that would cost them the Tameo. I can live with that. I would like to use Isochron Scepter's ability. I think I want to smoke the Bowmaster. And the Goyf is hitting me the hardest. I'm a little worried about Kaito. Kaito picking up Bowmaster is worse for me. Alright. My life total is a resource. Ponder. Nice bounce on that Tameo. It would have flipped here. Ponder shuffled. Tameo's back. I go to 8. Didn't wasteland me. I like that. Okay. I'll plow first. Going after Nether Goyf. Play my Tameo next. Bounce your Tameo now. Okay. Here we go. I have gotten back the 2 cards I spent on the Isochron Scepter by exiling 2 creatures. From here on out, it's all profit, baby. Speaking of getting 2 cards for 1. My god. I did look at this list and see if I could fit flow states in it, but flow state not being an instant, and it shouldn't be. Let's be clear. I'm not advocating flow state should be an instant. That would be outrageous. But it didn't make sense in this list. I would have to start cutting the dreadnoughts and like shaving on Isochron Scepters, and it's like I could have built a deck with 2 Isochron Scepters and 3 flow states, but let's believe in something if we're going to do this. Dameo's back. Okay. Ursa Saga. Let's go. More mana. I think what I want to do here is plow my opponent's Tameo. So if Kaito is what I'm worried about, I should go after the Orc army. Okay. Yeah, I'll deal with anything that can get in the red zone first. Oh, this is worth a Force of Will. Okay. I've gotten 4 cards off of this Isochron Scepter so far. All right, I'm going to bounce your Tameo. And I am not going to attack with my Tameo because Kaito remains my largest concern here. I will lose this game so fast if they have a Kaito. The funny thing about this Urza Saga is Phyrexian Dreadnought is the only tutor bullet in the deck. And I have no way to enable that right now. Tameo's back. Have we sandbagged a Brainstorm? Okay. They're finally back in. I have to believe there's a Kaito in their hand. The Force of Will on the plow on Orc army, I could understand if they're trying to protect Tameo, but forcing to protect this 1/1 is such a smoking gun. If they don't have Kaito, they're certainly playing towards it. Bad news is I'm probably still cooked to their flip Tameo at this point. Finding one of my wastelands would be cool. Okay, Ponder. All right, my Tameo might flip this turn. Is that good enough? I'm going to Ponder first. If I find a land, this gets a lot easier. Or another Ponder will flip it without cracking the clue, and then I can leave Plow up. Okay. Don't shuffle. Do attack. Other Ponder. I'll use this to put the days in my hand. So this lets my Tameo flip, lets me plow the Orc army, and I can daze, and I still have a land drop. Just out here fighting over Kaito. Okay. Opponent had the first Tameo activation. Do they want to race to the moon, or do they want to buy back this flow state and do something with it? To the moon, it seems. I'm going to draw with a clue. That's the Tundra we knew was there. I could buy back Ponder with Tameo. What are my answers to a flip Tameo? Honestly, not much. Stifle. I have Stifle. That's what I'd be looking for here. Okay, plus Tameo. Play Tundra. I suppose there might be some universe where Isochron Scepter could run them out of threats even if they draw half their deck. Like, they need something pretty specific, like a Brazen Borrower to answer an artifact in Dimir. Plow that. I'm just going to rip off Plow on this Orc army, or I'm going to pass priority. See if they fetch, then I'll do it. I'll do it now. They plow the Orc army. Again, just trying to respect Kaito. Force pitching Brainstorm. All right, sure. Did they float a Kaito on top of the deck? Fetch after draw. I'm nervous. Tamiyo's up to 8. Moment of truth. They are attacking. They're attacking me. Squad, I did everything I could. You saw me play around this Kaito for the entire game, but they played like they had Kaito the whole game, and correctly identified that this is what the game is about. I don't know if I can beat Kaito. I might be able to beat Tamiyo. Like, strong maybe, but I think Kaito is just game over. Brainstorm. Do I want to do that first or Ponder first? I guess I'll Brainstorm first, because I can use Ponder to shuffle the Brainstorm. It doesn't go the other way. Isochron Scepter. I'm a mana short of kicking Orm's Chant, but it would cost me mana to put Ponder in my hand, so alright, that doesn't matter. Irrel. Okay, there is nothing I can ponder into here, so I'm just going to concede and hide that I'm even a Dreadnought deck. Okay, I mean, that was a pretty cool battle. I mean, Kaito is a massive blind spot for blue-white decks in general, and this blue-white deck is particularly soft to it, because I had to use a bunch of slots for things like Isochron Scepter and Omen Hawker, which could be used for, like, Dress Down or Pithing Needle, cards that could address that card. Divert. We are in a Thoughtseize matchup and a removal matchup. I'm into that. I don't really have a lot for this opponent. Divert, Flusterstorm, Lavinia. This could let me kind of condense the fights we're fighting. Force of Will, Daze can back off a little bit. Yep, this is what I got. The Wrath of the Skies could be considered, but I'm a Phyrexian Dreadnought Isochron Scepter deck. I don't really want to sweep up 2-drops out of their deck. Okay. No Hawker this time, but I do have Tamiyo. And I'm going to say, go ahead and Wasteland me. Lands are not my problem here. Thoughtseize. Hey, Tamiyo's... Oh, they have Snuff Out on their deck. Tamiyo's not even necessarily guaranteed to get a card here. Took my Ponder. Ooh. That changes the tempo quite a bit. Makes their Wasteland a lot better. But these clues can make my constructs larger if I don't crack them for cards. They played a land that's not Wasteland. I'm not going to tap out a Flusterstorm right now. Move to combat. Okay, second clue is in the bank. The bad news is there's no way to enable this Dreadnought. Alright, I'm fully exposed to Wasteland at this point. I'm just going to fetch Tundra. Orcish Burrowmaster. That's fine. Nile Spellbomb. Interesting. What did I show them that that's a card in their deck? I mean, Tamiyo. You've got a Tamiyo. Alright, deck. Maybe I can draw Stifle right now and just do it all. Draw for turn. Divert. Okay. It's not the Stifle I was hoping for, but it might have a hero moment in the near future. Fetching in response. I was just playing around Pithing Needle, probably. Do I want to Entomb one of these or just leave them all in the deck? Yeah, I don't think I want to draw one. Okay. I cannot sacrifice enough creatures here. I'll play Scalding Tarn and attack with my 2 creatures. They Divert's a little awkward because they know about Flusterstorm and they're kind of the same card. Until I have 2 mana up, this is kind of a mediocre experience. So Divert is way worse for them than Flusterstorm is on a removal spell. Tamiyo's banking a clue. I didn't get Kaito'd, though I have enough beef on the board that I could challenge a Kaito. Nile Spellbomb could flip Tamiyo here, even if nothing else is in their hand. I'm going to fetch in the upkeep, because I don't actually want to draw Island a Daze. I'm going to attack for 12. It's a pretty good attack. Damage is being done. I've got 3 layers of defense. Undercity Sewer. Dumped a Wasteland. I agree that card's not good right now. Tamiyo's still attacking, which means they have a plan for at least one of these constructs. The plan is not Kaito. Brainstorm resolves. The constructs are still lethal through a Tamiyo plus. They could play a 5/5 Murktide right now. That's not enough to stop these constructs. Hardcast Kaito, I could daze. Second Brainstorm, still spinning. Every card they cast makes all of my hand better. Flusterstorm, Daze, and Divert. Okay, hell yeah. Just playing Affinity over here. Mind your business. Don't worry about it. Okay, they've seen a Dreadnought now. There are 6 ways in my deck to enable my 3 Dreadnoughts. I did try to think of, is there a better win con than Dreadnought while staying true to Something Snazzy's vision? And maybe the answer is just Lockmare. Maybe we just play 4 Lockmare, and then we don't have to play Mycosynth Garden, but Garden is also one of the things that Omen Hawker is helping with, air quotes helping. All right, same deck, let's go. Oh, baby. The double Hawker start, just what we dream about. I am going to keep this. Obviously, it needs a land. Nether Goyf, 0/1. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Well, Tundra would make this hand actually pretty good, but getting Wastelanded here would end my entire career. I'm going to develop a Hawker. This is the card I care the least about if it gets killed, because I have another one. Ponder. That's not Orcish Bowmaster. Shuffle the library. Are we both on 1-landers? We are not, but I did play around the Wasteland. Goyf is in no blocks. Oh, baby. Holy moly. That Wasteland is going to save their ass. Yep. I actually can't develop this Phyrexian Dreadnought right now because of the Wasteland. But what I can do is cast Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Gardens, Tameo, and pass with my Plow up. Like, if they are hurting for mana here, they might need the Wasteland as a mana source. Like the Ponder, Shuffle, play Wasteland, don't use it, is kind of a sign that they might need this thing. And if they get caught slipping for even a second, all right, shit. Maybe not 1 second. I might have needed 2 seconds there. Okay, I'll plow the Bowmaster, my snaky mana, in here. Force of Will. All right. Force Pitching Force. Cleared the Hawker. If I draw a land right now, I can have Dreadnought in play. I'll block your 2/3 with my 0/3. I don't believe you have Street Wraith in your deck. All right, land for the big Hail Mary. Oh my god, Magic's so easy. Phyrexian Dreadnought. This land becomes a copy of target thing that costs X. X equals 1. I will sacrifice the tapped one to keep the untapped one. And should Tameo attack, I guess. And if they have Kaito, they have enough attackers to get through. I'm just going to hope they die in 2 hits here. And if I can untap with this counterspell, it gets even better. We know their deck has Snuff Out in it. That card is pretty annoying. Basic Swamp. Thoughtseize. Okay, dig in. Could still have Snuff Out, but I really hope they don't. Took Orm's Chant. Gross. Wasteland. Okay, I don't think they're going to attack here. They just lose their cards if they do. Brainstorm. I don't think I'm going to be casting that. I will keep Tameo back as a blocker. Opponents at 5. Play Hawker, aka blocker, Omen blocker. All right, pass the turn. Can they kill Dreadnought or not? They had a window to do it last turn, didn't take it. Brainstorm, they're digging. Snuff Out puts them to 1 at this point, but I'm not very good at dealing 1 damage. Okay, they should know right now if they're winning or losing this game. Here comes everybody. I'll block Bowmaster, I guess. Can't Kaito with what you're showing. Another Brainstorm. So they get 1 new card. And because of this attack, now if they Snuff Out, they die. I do have 1 damage on board. Wow, everyone's got to play until they get punched in the mouth. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Sorry for doubting you, my friend. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here.
I'm on the play in round 2. I don't know that my opponent isn't on Oops All Spells, so I'm going to mulligan this double force hand that doesn't do anything else. Okay, we got to believe in something, right? I'm going to keep this in bottom Isochron Scepter. I am not going to slam Daze under Isochron Scepter. That is not the power level I'm looking for out of my cards. But it would be pretty sick to draw a... I was just busy narrating and forgot to daze this thing. It's fine. What could go wrong? Let's draw Orange Jam right now. Lock this game up. Versus Saga. Okay. Saga is in play. In Life is better without Ocelot Pride in play, but I'm also a mana-heavy deck. It's like, I could have dazed that thing, but I also don't need to. Oh, fuck. Fuck me. Well, now I can't daze anything. I was ready to hardcast daze and develop my Urza Saga, but forget about it, I guess. My hand's already bad. Give me a chance. It's kind of Orm's Chant or bust at this point, which is kind of a crazy place to be. Okay, I can develop a 1/1 here. I can create Phyrexian Dreadnought. I can have a 2/2 and a Phyrexian Dreadnought next turn. I can't have a 3/3 and a Phyrex or 2 3/3s because I don't have the mana to stifle if I make the second guy. Lazotep Quarry. A Johnny. Tapping the Quarry though. I could have flipped a Johnny immediately. I think I'm dead, team. Okay, fetch. I'm just going to get Tundras. I don't think my opponent has Wastelands, or else the Urza Saga may have been challenged. Force of Will. Another banger, let me tell you. All right, is a 12/12 good enough here? Stifle in the Dreadnought. Wastelanding Lazotep Quarry doesn't matter, because cats are going to die. That's just what cats are going to do. Built to die. World is a fuck. 100 million dead cats. I think I'm going to Wasteland here. I'm just deciding what I'm Wastelanding. So what are my outs, actually? Almost nothing. Okay. I will Wasteland the Lazotep Quarry. At least put whether or not a Johnny can flip somewhat in my control. Honestly, this Hexing Squelcher being their 2-drop instead of this Ajani. I mean, obviously, that's what the card is for. That's why they made the play they did. But that was really smart, and it messed me up. I was hoping to tap 2 mana to daze something. All right, I've conceded. And my hand was mid to start, and there is only one Orm's Chant in the deck because Chant Scepter Lock is not really that powerful of a thing in present-day Legacy. But it was cool that I had outs at all in that spot. Divert. Yeah, nice look with that. Hexing Squelcher. All right, I'm going to take out a bunch of counter spells, bring in some sweepers, and more specialized interaction. Let's go. Also, I could have just dazed that cat and played that game down a mana. Might have worked out better. Okay, this is a turn 2 Dreadnought. I'll keep. And if I ever find one of my 3 scepters, I have the important part. Island, Hawker. Straight up hawking it. Ocelot Pride. Ponder. Do I want to ponder looking for removal? Do I want to just shove a 12/12 into play? All right, I'm here to party. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Copy Dreadnought. Sacrifice the land version. Pass. I'm out here. Plateau. A red card. Oh no, please don't flip a good card. A Johnny. And a Johnny's okay. It's not Swords to Plowshares, which is what I was really worried about. Hey! Speaking of Swords to Plowshares, I'm gonna go fetch my basic planes, and I will attack. Okay, opponent took some damage there. Hydroblast and Plow up for their turn. Seems reasonable, though I guess I want to answer a Johnny before it's their turn for the life gain. Static Prison, that's some horse shit. That answers my guy without even gaining me a bunch of life. Hydroblast that card because it's unbeatable. Okay, we're back onto Orm's Chant, or drawing another Dreadnought Enabler for 2 turns from now. So if I had Orm's Chanted them instead of casting Swords to Plowshares on my turn, that might have actually been better. Isochron Scepter, Swords to Plowshares, oh my god. Right, don't shuffle. Pass. It did not pay. Yeah, that's smart. You get to keep your energy, and I obviously can't do anything with this. Clever. Opponent knows how their cards work. A Johnny. Yep, that card's good. I'm going to plow Ocelot Pride so it doesn't go nuts on me. Can't interact with any of these cats. I'm at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit, I'm going to be 1 short. I can make it so they can't cast spells, but my 5th land or 5th mana is on top of my deck right now. Did I have to just not take the swords to plowshares? Let what happens, whatever happens, happens. And then, okay, yeah, I think I messed up this game. All right, I'll brainstorm and see if I just randomly spike the ability to Wrath of the Skies plus cast it somehow. Well, I do have Wrath of the Skies, but I can't cast it somehow. Yeah, Orm's Chant goes the wrong way here. If it was Fog on the front and then Silence on the back, I think I'd be okay. But that's not how it works. GG's. A lot of pressure. We're not really built for this. Though I think I should have, on both of those occasions, I think I was playing too scared because their cards are obviously scary. But both of these Swords to Plowshares, like if I Orm's Chant instead of Plow on this turn, then they can't Static Prison my Dreadnought and they're dead. And if I take the land or the Scepter instead of this Plow and just let them have an extra turn of Ocelot Priding, then I have them in a soft Scepter lock. And until they draw any card to get out of it, or something that kills one of their own cats, and then a Johnny just burns me out. Yeah, both of this game was winnable in two different spots if I had been more locked in on what I needed to do. Just wasn't focused on my strategy, so I made tactical errors around cards that are normally good, but in this case, they were not.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3. No real plan yet, but I have the starting formation of a plan. I have plans to make a plan. I can interact with my opponent whether they have spells or they have creatures. And the Gardens is here if I come up with a Dreadnought. Long pause on this Omen Hawker. Please force a will this. They didn't force my Omen Hawker. I just realized it's round 3 and I haven't made a single Hawk to a joke. Does that mean nature is healing and people have forgotten about that idiot? Stifle, okay. I figure use days where you can against a blue-white deck. Ooh. A fetch land. Yeah, I'm going to hide my Mycosynth Gardens for as long as I can. And I am going for Stifle Chase here. Didn't fetch. Oh, not fetching there might mean they're just proactively playing around a Stifle that I've given them no reason to think that I have. Or they're trying to draw lands, and they did. Right, Omen Hawker getting in. Now that they've seen Mycosynth Gardens, it's reasonable to believe I'm a Stifle deck, because clearly Dreadnought is what I'm up to. Another Hawker. Man, Lockmare would go so hard right now. I'm going to let this fetch land through. See if they bust off the other one. Surveil to the top. Didn't get rid of it. Okay, so are they blue-white? Or is there a third color coming? Can I take them off that third color with this Stifle? No. All right. Now they have so much mana, I'm never going to use this Stifle. Like, they just hit all their land drops underneath it. Force pitching, force here. I'm not playing through a Beanstalk. It can't be done. And this is probably terrible news. Hard Control is the nightmare matchup for basically all Dreadnought decks. And I'm a pretty clunky Dreadnought deck. This would have been a great game for... Okay, you're a Stifle deck. Okay, so that means they have Felia. This would have been a great game for a Isochron Scepter holding Stifle. They've used 3 fetch lands already. They Stifled Chapter 1, though. I didn't need the mana. I need the constructs. Does that mean there are multiple Stifles waiting in their hand? Okay. Saga ticks up second time. Does this one resolve? No. All right, multiple Stifles confirmed. I have drawn an Isochron Scepter right now. I could put Stifle under that. I don't think that's actually good, though. I have 2 ways to enable Dreadnought next turn, which means I actually get 2 Dreadnoughts. I can Stifle in one of them and then copy the one that is now stable with Gardens. That also means I can push through 1 removal spell. Okay, Saga pops. Unless they have the 3rd Stifle. Hell yeah! Gaming. Sure. Sure. That's fun. All right, I will develop this Tameo. Start feeling out removal spells. And these Omen Hawkers have done 10. Gotta give it up for them. I do have Plow if they try to block with Felia. I'm gonna Plow before blocks, even though this opens up a second Felia as something that could punish me. I'm just gonna hope they don't have that and play aggressively. Prismatic Ending on Tameo. Teferi, yuck. Yeah, Teferi makes my entire deck non-functional. Isochron Scepter just doesn't work with this card in play. Ponder. I found a Dreadnought. It means I have to draw a Daze and a Swords. And there's a freaking Teferi in play. Alright, I gotta shuffle this. Yeah, Teferi can just bounce that. It's not even anything. Alright, I'm attacking Teferi. Oh, Teferi specifically. We almost solved it. You're deleting Teferi to draw a card. Does that mean you have a second Teferi, or you're just that scared of what's going on around here? Okay, I think that scared of what's going on around here is the answer. I'm gonna Brainstorm, which is actually gas because they just put a card I don't actually want in my hand. Interesting. Okay. Hawker and Stifle are gonna go away. And then I'll play Isochron Scepter with Counterspell backup, though if I counter it, then nothing happens. All right. The fourth Stifle. I understand why they were panicking a little bit. I'll play Tameo and attack for 1. Okay. Okay. Very weird game. 4 Stifles cast. It's crazy to me that 4 Stifles are in the list. Opponent is praying for that Quantum Riddler. I'm praying for 1 turn where I can hold up this counterspell and let Tameo cook. Caracas. That can keep Tameo alive, so I will run it out. The Hawker's actually dealing so much damage that leaving it back to activate abilities doesn't even make sense. Rack my clue. I'm tapping Gardens to do that because I have colorful spells in my hand. And maybe that didn't make sense, but like casting Counterspell and leaving up Caracas to protect Tameo are both things I want to do compared to the upside of drawing a Dreadnought. A Brainstorm makes Tameo flip. Opponent's at 5. A Brainstorm. Curie. Emergent Intelligence. Okay, I'm going to put Ponder and Otawara back. Ponder and Otawara go back. Tameo flips. Plus Curie is another legend. Doubles my clock and draws a lot of cards. I can cast Counterspell here. Fetch plus filter through Gardens. And Mycosynth Gardens could become a Curie if they try to kill it also. That would legend rule. Do I want to draw Otawara? I don't think so. I'll fetch in my upkeep where I have Counterspell available still. Daze. I'm going to attack with my creatures first. Felia. I'm going to counter that spell, and I can counterspell again if I need to. Holy moly, Omen Hawker. You put it in the deck to attack for 20. Okay, very strange game. We're against a Felia Beanstalk strategy. I probably want Lavinia. Divert. This will be very poor in the late game, but pretty exciting in the early game. I'm actually going to board out at least 1 Dreadnought. It's just so clunky into white removal decks. Daze not super reliable either. All right, I don't have a lot going on here for matchups like this. Yeah, here we go. Just gotta hope my opponent's deck completely fails them again. Island Ponder. Let's go. I was about to say, awkward knowing they're a 4 Stifle deck, but sometimes you just draw a basic island and everything's easy. I think I want Wasteland here. They did mull to 6. They are kind of a greedy, mana-hungry control deck. In last game, they just drew 7 or 8 lands in a row, but I ended up winning because of that. I had like Stifle in my hand for a bunch of turns, so that was pointless, but then I was attacking for 2 a turn, and they just ran out of life points. Dress Down Dumped. A risky card versus a Dreadnought deck. Wasteland. Okay, this mana can cast Felia, who I know how to daze. I'm going to waste this archive. I probably should have done that in their end step or upkeep. Like if they end step cast Felia, then they can't stifle my Wasteland. If I do it in their upkeep and they have stifle, then it costs them mana. Yeah, that was kind of a spew. The timing. I was gonna do that, but the timing was not great. White in the pool. Change phases. Felia. Daze. You're forcing me. I'm forcing you. Ha 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 ha. What a battle. Okay. I don't think using this brainstorm right now is the best use of my resources. Okay, let's hope opponent misses a land drop and never plays the game. Shit. Well, that card doesn't cast Felia or Beanstalk. It does cast Quantum Riddler, where they're conveniently down to 1 card in hand. The reload. I did what I could. I tried so hard. Ponder. Another Wasteland. I definitely don't want another Scepter, but a Ponder and a Wasteland are both welcome. If this game gets weird enough, I might put Brainstorm under Isochron Scepter and just start churning. A Brainstorm. Did you find a land in all those cards? You did. And a Tameo. I have to address Tameo before I can waste this Tundra. Fetch for my plains. And Ponder. Stifle, Plow, another land. I don't want any of this shit. So they are a creature-centric control deck. If I take Plow and Stifle... Alright, this requires a little bit of the game to line up right for me. But if I can waste their Tundra and Stifle a fetch land here, they might go back to not playing the game, which is what I need. Ooh, Upkeep Brainstorm. That's weird. Huh. Why would we do it there? Okay, I've untapped. Stifle's in my hand. Okay, I can Wasteland the Tundra, Stifle the Misty, and Plow Ophelia in between. Stifle that. Waste the Tundra. Do we get it all? Did the dream line up? Oh my god. Every single thing I said is coming true. Plow? Oh no. They keep hitting land drops, though. 1 card in hand over there. Is it time to Isochron Scepter, imprint Brainstorm? Or just cast Brainstorm? And if I get Besaju'd immediately, that's not pretty. Whatever. Build your own. Up the Beanstalk. Bang. Okay, they didn't have another Felia. Felia flickering out this Isochron Scepter, then comes back on nothing would not be great for me either. Their next draw, or their next land can cast Quantum Riddler. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'll cast Tameo. And then I'll fetch and play this Brainstorm. Tundra, Brainstorm. Wastelanding me, that's fine. That takes them off Quantum Riddler, which is what I'm actually worried about. B-Storm. A bunch of junk. Tameo flips. We're online. And I can run out Caracas, which in case a Felia appears or a Tameo, I have that covered. And step fetch. Bant mana back online. Hit land number 4 again. Do I want to pick up Daze with Tameo and just get ahead of this Quantum Riddler? It's not pretty, but it works. I'm going to minus Tameo on Daze. Ain't I a stinker? And I'll play out a Gardens. Okay, they did not develop a land. End step, activate Brainstorm. And normally, you want to Brainstorm. That's fine. Normally, you want to Brainstorm when you can shuffle. But if you get to Brainstorm every turn, it doesn't matter. This is just Jace the Mind Sculptor at this point. A Brainstorm. Use the ability. Yes. Okay, I can set up a Dreadnought for next turn. Put back Otawara and Dreadnought. Play Tundra. I am actually not going to play out this Tameo. Or I can. Because I can use my own Caracas to pick it up if I want to Brainstorm again. Yeah, this is fine. If it eats a removal spell, that's great. They did nothing with their turn cycle. Plus this Tameo. Attack with the other Tameo. Do I want to do something as bold as a Dreadnought? I think I do. Okay, Dreadnought. Copy it. It could stifle the Mycosynth activation and then Dreadnought dies. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, these defensive stifles. All right, can't use that after all. Pass the turn. Oh no, a good card. Might be in trouble, team. Tameo for you. That will be getting correct. Bounce that. Can't Brainstorm in response. It's an illegal play. Plus Tameo. Attack with the other one. And I will draw 1 card with 1 clue. Orum's Chant. Okay, I could just play this in their upkeep. That could let Tameo pop off. Or I could just enjoy it in my hand, and when I draw half my deck with this Tameo, that will include a Isochron Scepter. Another Beanstalk. Don't love it, but off you go. I could also use Orum's Chant to protect my Tameo ultimate from getting stifled. Crack this clue. Force of Will. That card's good here. Okay, play Tundra. attack to make a clue, swords to plowshares. I'll return that to my hand. Okay, the cards get their advantage anywhere. Do I want Tamiyo to flip immediately? Yes. Okay, I'll play this Tamiyo. Ultimate this Tamiyo. I've drawn half my deck. Other Tamiyo flips. Plus, where are the goods? There's a Dreadnought. I did not draw a second Isochron Scepter. Unlucky. It seems like this game might go on long enough that I should actually start organizing my cards a little bit, which takes up a lot of time on Magic Online, but probably necessary here. Force. A lot of forces, in fact. These counterspell divert. Do I want to get my Omen Hawker in there? Doing his job? Big Hawker. Okay, Omen Hawker is on the stack. And do I want to play Curie? I think I do. Force of Will targeting Curie. This does trigger the Beanstalks. All right, I've got other win conditions, and I'm a little worried about Curie decking me, actually, so don't mind that going. All right, I'll pass the turn. Yeah, opponent with the double Beanstalk, if they get something going here, that could really flip it on me. Like, they could actually keep up with the cards I have. A land pass. Lavinia, let's go. Okay, I like her. Land, Lavinia. This limits what my opponent can do. They are at 5 lands, though, so there's options. Okay, ultimating Tamiyo a second time doesn't do anything. I'm going to put Stifle in my hand, because what I need to do at this point is win the game. Stifling my minus Tamiyo to return Stifle to my hand. You got it. Sure. Opponent is heavy on those stifles. Defensive stifles. Do I want to Omen Hawker now? Yeah, I'm going to Omen Hawk to cast Brainstorm. There's what, 1 Dreadnought left in my deck? Okay, there's another Scepter. That's good stuff. I'll put back 2 Flooded Strands. I can go... I have exactly enough to Scepter, Imprint, Ormschant, and start kicking it. Scepter. A multi-kicked Consigned to Memory. Good idea. That was not going to go well. Okay. That's done. And... oh, could I have just diverted Consigned to Memory to counter its own Replicate trigger? Wow, that's sick. I'm a dope. Alright, that's fine. I'll just have 3 Dreadnoughts in play next turn. Pass. That would have been so cool. Too much information. My tiny, smooth brain can't process it all. Flooded Strand, they're going to play that Quantum Riddler from Exile right now while they know I can't daze it. Well, I can daze it once. I'll just cast Daze twice. I don't see Daze doing a lot in this game, and if I can get anything out of it, I'll take it. Oh, apparently they said they dang clicked too fast in the chat, so apparently they passed priority on Daze without cracking their fetch land first. It wasn't going to resolve, but leaving me with that material in hand was obviously just a misclick and is going to hurt a little bit. Okay, plus Tamiyo. And I think it's time to make 2 Dreadnoughts? 3 Dreadnoughts. Okay. Mycosynth Garden. Curie. Phyrexian Dreadnought. In response. Copy it. And I can copy this one now. All right, in response, copy it. And also slurp it up with Curie. Okay, I am not going to sacrifice for the Dreadnought that no longer exists. I will pass the turn with 3 Force of Wills in my hand. And I think I'm going to Ormschant on their upkeep as well. I just forgot to attack with Lavinia. Everybody's messing up here. Okay, Ormschant you. This plays around Supreme Verdict, Terminus, Wrath of the Skies, all that sort of thing. We got the GG. Very weird set of games here. But I'll take weird. It's what I signed up for. Upkeep Brainstorm. You can't even cast Terminus if you have it. There's not much I'm worried about with this Brainstorm here. GG's. Yeah, when the control deck is using Stifle to stay alive, that is not the position they want to be in. Like, both games, there were 3 Stifles game 2, 4 Stifles game 1. All of them were just on, like, don't let Urza Saga make a construct. Don't let Urza Saga tutor a Dreadnought. Don't let Isochron Scepter imprint a card. That's not what you want to be doing. You want to be jamming in these Riddlers early or keeping things exiled forever with Felia. Weird games. I'm happy to get away with them.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I am on the play in round 4. I am obviously going to keep this protected Tamiyo hand. I like how round 1, game 1, it was Hawker into Lockmare, and then this game it's just like Tamiyo with some forces and Ponder. Get you a girl who does both. Once upon a time happening. Stitcher Supplier. All right. Oh, yeah, we got some Hogak. Oh, no, this is like the aggro version. Okay. I'm going to let them have Moonshadow, and then I'll fight over Stitcher Supplier, probably. Ooh. That card's fun. Someday. And this aggro Golgari deck has popped up, which is actually really fun for me because I tried this deck on the channel, and the build wasn't quite there, but it turns out someone else was just out in the world working on it too. Okay, I think what I want to do here is Ponder, Lockmare, Plow. Don't shuffle. I don't necessarily want to Plow right away, though. And Moonshadow is whenever 1 or more permanents go to your graveyard, which means if this mills over 3 creatures, Moonshadow still only gets +1. I think I want to force this to buy myself as much time as possible to put Scepter under, or Plow under Scepter. Fetch, Bayou, Sylvan Safekeeper, son of a biscuit. Well, that can deploy Eumidian Hatchery at will. Alright, I don't actually have time to do this. Plow the Moonshadow. That also just shuffled my deck. My precious Lockmare. Gone to parts unknown. Attack with Tamiyo, and I'm going to crack a clue first, because if I hit Ponder or similar, I can just flip now. Or I could hit Omen Hawker. Okay, Hawk, there it is. This is actually an important burst of mana, because my opponent could kill Tamiyo in combat next turn by sacking Eumidian Hatchery and triple blocking, but if I have 2 clues, that won't matter. A fetch, White of the Rel. That's a powerful effect for the future. Oh, Hogak from hand, brutal. That's actually fucked up. All right. I thought I was doing okay, but I'm not. I'm not okay, trust me. Wasteland. That card's not very good. Okay, I'm going to try to draw a bunch of cards and hope they're good. Okay, crack a clue. Brainstorm lets me flip Hogak, or flip Tamiyo at will. The problem is if I flip Tamiyo now, Hogak just eats her lunch. But I guess what else am I doing? I'm going to use Brainstorm, because my hand is also bad. If I could get Scepter online, that's something. I did not get Scepter online. I'll put back Hawker and a Wasteland. Tamiyo goes up. Soon to be dead. Yeah, I have to spend a turn working through that Brainstorm lock and then try to find my way out of it, but this is too many permanents at this point. The Hogak is the nail in the coffin. Might have been able to play through the other 3. Yep, Tamiyo is dead. I'm probably looking for, at this point, Isochron, or I have Isochron Scepter. I'm looking for Orm's Chant. That's the way out of this. Okay, Brainstorm. Show me some goods. Interesting. This is Curie, who is Dreadnought right now, if I want all that. Hawker's definitely going back, and I can't cast Counterspell anyway. Okay. Wasteland, Curie. I guess putting a 12/12 into play isn't a bad deal. Dreadnought. Hawk it. Drink Dreadnought's milkshake. Drink it up. And there's White of the Reliquary and 2 Elvish Reclaimers in play if there's just, like, some land they can get here. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, okay, they just have a lethal attack through my guy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and they can sack enough lands to make their guys bigger. Yep, that'll do. Heckin' Hogak. What a card. Okay, Lavinia hardlocks Hogak. Just the words on Hogak and the words on Lavinia line up in such a way that my opponent cannot cast Hogak with Lavinia in play, but the rest of their deck doesn't care much about that. Wrath of the Sky is one of the best cards I could have. I might want some Surgicals, but a lot of the game is played on the board. Even that is dubious. Daze can chill. Divert and Flusterstorm. These are good against discard spells. They're good against removal spells. I think I'm going to shave 1 Hawker and only bring in 1 Surgical, and this is where this is going to land. Because I want my Scepters, my Plows, my Chant, I want the ability to do the lock. I want everything that's a big creature. Okay, let's go. This matchup seems difficult. But I just need my big dumbass in play before they have theirs. I'll keep this. It's a fast Tameo. When it's on a mold of 5. Bird Catacombs. And Tameo's dead. Interesting. I could just bank this Plow under Isochron Scepter right now. That seems really good. I'm ignoring Wasteland. The card doesn't exist. Alright, Plow under Isochron Scepter. I hope your hand is 5 creatures. And none of those creatures are Uktabi Orangutan. Moonshadow. Sylvan Safekeeper. Alright. Safekeeper is usually pretty good at bullying Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to make their life pretty annoying. I'm going to do this now before they have mana on their turn. And I'm going to target the Safekeeper first. Use it or lose it. Okay, spending a forest to keep that around. Fair enough. Omen Hawker unlocks my ability to do more than one thing next turn. Moonshadow getting pretty big. Bowmaster. Yeah, that's pretty good. Man, Omen Hawker. Tough crowd. Phyrexian Dreadnought. Okay, I'm going to pass the turn. I have a variety of options here of things I can do. Thoughtseize, yeah, whatever. My hand sucks. Take it. Take it. Your opponent has no cards left. Moonshadow coming in. No blocks. Wish I had a Pithing Needle in the deck. I think I'd win the game on the spot if I had a Needle. Oh. Well, that's awkward for the constructs I just tutored up. But it's great for everything else that's going on. Do I want to trick them into spending resources? Like, I could double block Moonshadow with Construct, but I do want to Wrath for 1, which might not be an option next turn, because I don't have the next mana. Alright, fine. I'll just take my beats here. Do I fail to find... Yes, I'm just not going to put anything in. Super awkward, but hopefully this Wrath does what it needs to do. Now I just need to beat Orcish Bowmaster with my Isochron Scepter. Alright, pass the turn. Don't draw 2 Wastelands in a row. White of the Rel. That's dead. Okay, draw no land. Plow the white. Grind back out. As Garfield intended, with Isochron Scepter. Alright. Just bought yourself 3 damage. Firing this now. Swamp is gone. And Sylvan Safekeeper, such a cool card. This is one of those cards that came out when I was a kid, and I was like, this is my rare in my pack, this sucks. Where's Phantom Nishoba? Oh, Drew the Boseiju, this is horse hockey. Alright, if opponent's gonna rip like this, we might be in some trouble. Can I draw a Phyrexian Dreadnought, please? No, I cannot. I am presently unwilling to cast Brainstorm into this Bowmaster. Oh, draw Pluto Delta now. Why didn't you draw Pluto Delta on any of the last 3 turns in a row? It was just banger, banger, banger. Dreadnought. Counterspell. I should Scepter that. I'm running out of time. This counterspell's not even good anymore. Okay, they don't seem to have a Dryad Arbor, which would have taken a turn off the clock. And an Underground Mortuary instead. Makes me nervous that they kept a card on top, knowing that Isochron Scepter on counterspell is right here. Oh no. Well, I guess I have to take it. 1 life and 2 life actually might matter here. Because if I get a Dreadnought in front of 2 creatures at 2 life, I'm actually stable, but at 1 they can just attack through it. So I don't actually fetch here. Swords to Plowshares. Okay. I'm still alive. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Why did I think I was alive? That's not how that works. GG, man. Sylvan Safekeeper. What a card. Turns out that can beat blue-white decks, even if they have unlimited Swords to Plowshares. On to the next one.
We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here.
I am on the play in the final round. Positive record on the line. I'm going to lead on Tamiyo. Hawker is here, but it doesn't do anything with this hand unless I top deck exactly Dreadnought. But even then, that's a 5-mana play to play Curie, play Dreadnought, exile Dreadnought. I'm playing against Mental Misstep. Congrats on your recent Pro Tour top 8. I wonder what he's practicing for. Just out here vibing? Or already prepping for Eternal Weekend? Is there a 4 Seasons coming up? I don't know. Cool to see him in the Legacy queues. Alright, so we're just getting Troned here in this last round. I do have 2 Damping Spheres in my sideboard for this reason. This Tron deck, the Candelabra Tron deck, it's powerful. It's exciting that a card or a deck exists like this. Like, all these things I do believe are mostly true. But it is creating an interesting friction for me. Like, I've been playing Legacy and collecting Legacy cards, building out my own collection since 2008. There are very few Legacy decks that I cannot play. Even when a new deck does emerge, I'm usually like 4 to 8 cards away. Okay, scooping. I wonder what that is. Anyway, I'm normally like, I need to buy some Atraxas if Atraxa comes out, or like Reanimator shifted. I need 2 Shallow Graves that I didn't have. That's usually the limit, but I only own 1 Candelabra, which, compared to many people, is more than they have. I have 1 from an EDH deck 15 years ago. I remember paying $35 for it. I actually had 2 at the time because I had a mono black and a mono blue deck that both played it. But I sold one of them. I think I got like 100 out of it and felt like a genius because I spent 30 on it and got 100. Crazy how that moves. But I certainly don't have $10,000 to get 3 more Candelabras for Eternal Weekend. So there is a deck out there that is good that I simply cannot consider at all just due to card availability, which I know is a regular concern for most folks when they approach Legacy at all. It's just strange to be in that situation myself. Hashtag first world problems or whatever. But a new deck emerging on the back of a $3,500 Magic card as a 4 of is crazy in 2026. Okay. Force of Will, Bridge, and I have Wasteland and Force of Will and Damping Sphere. If my opponent is on Big Tron, oh, it's Eldrazi. All right, Herald is going to resolve. All right, I have definitely guessed wrong that strategic concession by my opponent is scooping to the Tamiyo, hiding what deck you're actually on. I've boarded out all my plows. I have no recourse in this matchup at this point except jamming a Dreadnought into play over top of what they're trying to do. Do I invest Hawker this turn or do I Wasteland? I think I'm going to Wasteland. Hawker could have held up Daze. Maybe that would have been good enough. Petrified Hamlet. Please don't name Flooded Strand. Please name Wasteland. Okay. One of my 2 Wastelands has already been used. I'll take it. But this Herald might just do 20 to me. Signed in Memory. That card's good. Alright, opponent can't Wasteland me either. This does cut both ways. Second Hamlet. Well, I'll fetch for Tundra in response to that. This one did name Flooded Strand, did snag one from my hand, but I have somewhat turned the corner on that. Though that's not even true, because I wanted to play Hawker and leave up Consign this turn, and now I can't do that. Alright, I'm going to bet on Damping Sphere over Hawker right now. Next turn I can play Hawker and... Yep, there's that. Yeah, I just sideboarded fully wrong. Good scoop from the opponent. If I draw Dreadnought right now, we might have a game. Okay, I think I have to play Gardens because that's my blue source. So there is a Cavern on Eldrazi, so what am I hoping to get here? Maybe if they have a 1 ring or something. Thought Not Seer. I will counter the trigger off of that, I guess. Leave my hand alone. Still don't know what I'm trying to draw here or what I'm playing towards. Dreadnought. The answer is Dreadnought. But I don't think I'm winning that race either. Rainstorm. Let's try one of those. And dead. Okay. All right, to the sideboard, get my correct cards in here. I don't even know if I want Damping Sphere, actually. And Lavinia doesn't really matter either. And Damping Sphere is fine, but I do need to find 4 cards that are going somewhere else. I guess Daze. Wrath of the Skies is the only sweeper I have, but it's quite bad when you have to spend 6 mana on this to kill a Thought-Knot Seer. That just doesn't actually happen. That's not how things work. Okay, so my opponent has seen Wasteland in my deck, which I know I only have 2 of. Well, my opponent doesn't know that. Scepter locking them is kind of my plan. You can't even divert Kozilek's command because it has 2 targets. Brutal. Okay, fine. Then I won't. It's just that easy. Alright, these cards out, plows back in. Dreadnought is plan A. Okay. I'll keep this. And I think I should develop Tamiyo on 1. Tapping out of Consigned Memory is always a little scary. But this is the time to do it, turn 1, if it's going to happen. Hamlet. I don't have a Wasteland or a Flooded Strand right now. Named Wasteland. Lotus Petal. Yeah, Chalice on 1's pretty good. I knew that was a possibility. That is really the only scary thing they can do on turn 1. Or the scariest thing, I guess. They could have, like, Lotus Petal into other guy. I don't really want this card in play. Replicate this. They're running out of options pretty soon. That's a lot more blue 1-drops in my hand. Force pitching a Hawker. How do I even win this game? My Miser's Urza Saga. That's it. I can flip Tamiyo right now. This is the matchup where flipping Tamiyo is the least good of all matchups, I think. Yeah, I didn't bring in my Wraths. I don't have a Prismatic Ending. I don't have a Brazen Borrower. And I literally win. Lockmare. Lockmare can win. Curie can technically attack. Disruptor Flute. No, Tamiyo doesn't work. All right, come on, Lockmare. Force of Will that I can cast. If I draw a Consigned Memory, I could have a big turn pushing through Chalice of the Void. Like I could play Omen Hawker, in response Brainstorm, in response counter all the Chalice triggers. Another blue 1-drop. My deck's got a lot of those in it. End step, Kozilek's Command for 2. 1 top, 1 bottom. Cavern of Souls. Yeah, opponent tapped a red in the pool, then untapped it and passed last turn. So took the turn off to Kozilek's Command to try to find the answer to a possible counterspell, which did all occur. Wasteland, that doesn't work. Yeah, I'm mostly dead here. I'll play another turn. Yeah, so this game, if I leave up Consign on 1 to counter that Chalice, then I'm just firing on all cylinders. If he just doesn't have Chalice, that's also great. But both of those things were true, and that card doesn't get me out of it. All right, GG's. That was maybe the most 3 times one-sided match. It was like opponent scooped game 1 on turn 2, and then I had the wrong sideboard for game 2 and had no counterplay, and then got completely colded by Chalice of the Void in game 3. Okay, bringing us to this deck. Omen Hawker, as far as, like, if you just want to put Sol Ring in your Legacy deck and make it work somehow, this deck usually had somewhere to put the mana. There was that one weird game versus Control where I had 2 Omen Hawkers, nothing to spend the mana on, so they just attacked for, like, 16 damage instead. That was okay. I think if you want to do this, you should lean more into what it's doing. Like, I think this is just a 4x Lockmare deck, if this is how you want to play. The other way to go, or maybe it's both directions, is Urza Saga. Like, if we don't have any Dreadnoughts, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 slots that open up, plus 2 lands. Like, if you just turn these 2 gardens straight into Sagas, then 7 other slots open up, 3 more Lockmares, then you get 4 slots for something like Prismatic Ending, which can be your generic main deck out for something like a turn 1 Chalice of the Void that we're otherwise ice cold to, or a Brazen Borrower, something like that could start to fill in those slots. I would want, you need a few slots for Saga Bullets. Retrofitter Foundry is Great place to dump a bunch of mana from Omen Hawker. Omen Hawker doesn't really help with Staff of the Storyteller because that's a white activated ability. Soul Guide Lantern has an activated ability. Yeah, I think where I would take this if you were to continue to build around Omen Hawker is away from Phyrexian Dreadnought and into Urza Saga, just blue-white Urza Saga control with Lockmare at the core. And if you're not interested in Omen Hawker, I think building this deck the other way around, where you have some Isochron Scepter stuff to do, it just won't happen particularly quickly. That's also a fine thing to do. Like if you have a Dreadnought deck, 2 Scepters, and then you just play to this as a thing your deck can do in the mid game. It doesn't sound great, but there were a number of fair Isochron Scepter matchups in this league where there was one where I just brainstormed 5 times in a game. There's one I plowed a bunch of creatures in a row. There was one where I put Counterspell under it, but then my opponent was already so far ahead on board they didn't care. But yeah, Soul Ring is a banned card in Legacy because it's too good. If you want to be the only person with Soul Ring and play Omen Hawker, I would pursue the Lockmare Urza Saga build of this rather than the Dreadnought build, because they're kind of asking 2 different things of you, where Dreadnought wants you to jam the thing, stay ahead, get 2 hits in, and Omen Hawker wants you to sit and play, and every turn this is in play, it's worth 2 mana, and you get like overwhelming mana advantage on your opponent the longer the game goes, assuming you can spend that mana. That's what I would do with this. Fun deck, though. These games were rewarding to navigate because our cards were so linear and trying to do one thing, and Omen Hawker trying to make that guy's ability work because it's a great ability if it does work, and this is a 1/1 with no abilities if it doesn't. Fun stuff. Something snazzy. Thanks for sending it in. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.